Alrighty, here we go.
What's up, guys?
Episode 15?
I think we're at 15.
I think we're at 15,
The
yeah.
quinceañera.
Yeah, so
Quinceañera. Our little girl's grown up.
let's not get into that.
For donkey rides.
Oh, I knew you were gonna go. All right, guys. So episode 15 of What Are You Drinking Now? Here at the office. It's another
Off to a great
later
start.
evening. Believe it or not, we're all fairly sober. I mean,
Yeah.
Nick just got off work, so that's his first sip.
I just got a sip of this. Escape to Colorado. It's a nice Western style, kind of cloudy, unfiltered IPA. It's bringing me back, man. I like that West Coast style.
Having a hard time convincing people that that is not a New England IPA. This cloudy.
It's got a little juice at the end, but it is not your fruit juicy IPA. This is a bitter, hop-fed IPA. It's just simply unfiltered haze. It's not malolactic.
Josh and I are both drinking one of our other drafts called the Sexy Canoe.
Yeah, there's a joke involving the similarities between lovemaking in a canoe and American domestic light beer.
How does that go?
Yeah, they're both near water, something like that.
Yeah.
So,
Both really close to water.
so
I went to Tippy Canoe.
so here we got the Sexy Canoe. I'm gonna say that this is going to be your domestic beer drinker's beer. This is a craft domestic beer.
If you want something that tastes like a Bud Light, but it's not Bud Light, and it doesn't taste like a Bud
Yeah, I'm not
Light,
gonna
but it tastes like a much better made Bud Light. I mean,
Yeah.
it tastes like a domestic beer that's like.
I mean, we're not gonna knock the domestic, or we're not gonna knock the Bud Light, the Miller Lite drinkers, or anything.
Yeah, I'll never not do that. I still have to have something Bud Light.
Absolutely. I think what I appreciated with this, a lot of craft beer drinkers, they move away from drinking the domestic major beers, more or less about ingredient control. A lot of craft brewers, they're going to stick to using barley and wheat malt extracts. They're not going into adjunct rice and uncontrollable malts, you know.
And I think there's definitely a little bit of adjunct in here.
And this is
Okay.
Tarboro, right? So this is North Carolina.
Yeah, Tarboro.
Yeah, Tarboro.
ABV
the
is
seed
3.7,
spinner, the
so
hunters, yeah.
It's definitely a
Basically a near beer.
even lighter than Mick Ultra. So talk about golf beer.
Yeah. So anyway, we got our palate cleansers out of the way. Let's jump into some of our tasting. Did you go lighter dark?
You wanna go first?
I think I'm caramel color. I
Did you go
think
lighter
I
dark?
might be slightly bitter.
Mine's cloudy.
Let's start here.
All right.
All right.
One of my favorites. Okay.
How did I
It's on the shelf. I had to do it. I'm your IPA guy.
So-
I lived out west. I drank $2 pints of Deschutes, of Ida Hawk, of
Mendocino,
I
Ida
just
Hawk,
don't.
that's-
It doesn't.
that's
Red Sea.
throwback.
I love these hoppy, refined ales. This Revenant. Let's talk about this India Pale Ale. Right? No, like extra things about it. It is part of what they call the Graveyard Series. So those of you who like Lost Coast, you're probably familiar with the Indica. That's their flagship IPA. This is a little bit stronger. Indica's like a 6.5, 6.7. This is a 7-pointer. It's not quite a DIPA. DIPA is typically 7.4, 7.5 and above. This is still in your IPA category.
Fog Cutter, is that another one that's in there?
Fog Cutter's a lot like
Fog Cutter, I think, is their double.
what we're entertaining.
Oh yeah.
I had it.
I got
Oh, I got one.
Nick's going to get his bottle opener real quick. So anyway, Nick has been after me for probably 3 weeks now to get in some good West Coast IPAs. He is very tired of drinking the New England stuff.
Look, they're good, guys, but they just don't have that bitter that I crave. I like the juiciness. I thought it was a good trend to do for a little bit, something different. But I'm ready to get back into lagers, into hoppy ales, into crystal malt pilsners.
So and let me tell you why it took 3 weeks, because believe it or not, it's becoming harder and harder to find a good West Coast IPA. Every time I turn around and looked at IPAs, they're all going NE IPA.
So why? Well, because everybody thought this was easy. It's not. It's not so easy. Yeah, you can brew ale easier than lager, but pinpointing that flavor on a palatable IPA that has strength, body, and just really a friendly bitter taste, not that off-putting bitter taste. It's hard to build. It takes time. You got to be okay with saying we didn't get it right. Let's try again.
Yeah, I like this because you like from the get go, it smells like a typical West Coast IPA.
Caramel,
right
it's
there
not
with you.
totally clear, but we've taken that cloudiness out.
Yeah, I'm so tired of New England IPAs. I love them, but
This
good
is
Lord.
this is obviously the second of the West Coast IPAs that we've shown here tonight, and they're both fairly cloudy. Is this a because of unfilterization?
I'm trying to
I mean,
recall.
I'm pretty sure
on
on that one that's not filtered.
Yeah, this is an on-filter. This is the tap beer we mentioned earlier.
I think this is bottle conditioning.
And
That's all that is.
I'm gonna go, Josh. I'm seeing a lot of movement on the bottom, and we could really actually do our ultimate test here and see if we're. Yeah, there might be some yeast. I saw some cloudiness of the yeast, and so they could do a mid-filtering. They could filter colloidal particles, but leave cloudy yeast in.
Oh yeah.
There's different tricks. Right down to even cold filtering.
It could be chill haze, too.
Yeah, chill haze. Okay,
Where
there's
the protein coagulates, and if the beer gets cold, it is cloudy. But if it's warm, it's
warms
clear.
up. It breaks up.
You know, I don't know if I can hang with this sober Josh. I mean, he knows way too much shit.
So let's talk hop nose. What do we get on the hop nose?
Touche, yeah.
I like it, but
Less sentimental, or less emotional.
I'm getting
charged
pepper
today.
kind of a white pepper, not your straight black pepper, just a
Yeah,
little
I've
lighter.
got a lot of spice notes there. I'm also getting a little juiciness.
I do get
A
some.
little juicy, but
So I'm wondering, how what they're doing there to work with that. So I'm going to read the note. Full body flavor from rich pale malts, generating a light amber hue. A blend of Simcoe and Citra. So the Citra hop, along with the Simcoe, is going to
bring
push
out the
right
juicy.
into a unique, lively citrus aroma and flavor. Perfect for beer nerds. So basically, what they're saying is we're going to make you think you're having fruit, but there's no fruit in here.
it tastes like orange pith.
Like in between the
Yeah,
peel,
yeah, like
the
the-
rind, and the
Just
fruit.
a little bit of it, but like in a good way.
Yeah.
All that citrus oil that you get in that.
Depending on what orange, I like to leave some of that on sometimes. It's kind of part of that orange flavor.
So this is a rather smooth drinking IPA to me. It's not hitting me full on, with a lot of hops. It's not, hitting me with the big pine.
It's not as aggressive as some of the ones out there, but it still is packed to the brim with hops.
Yeah, but
it's
but
passive brute, but those malts are really coming through.
Yeah.
That pale malt
and the
is
malt
really
is
just
definitely
friendly.
making it rounded out and making
This
it a
is-
lot
this
easier
is
to
really good.
a lot easier to drink.
For a 7-pointer, it's kind of blowing me away. I mean, I feel like I'm drinking like a 5.2.
And exercise and balance, man. That's what it is, and that's
Well, they do have a skeleton like riding a, like God knows what,
So-
like riding a broom over a city.
One of the things I like to mention about Lost Coast, they are the first brewery, I believe, owned and operated by
if
all
not the
women
first, they're one of the first. But I
in
mean,
the
they're
United
awesome
States.
for that.
Yeah, they are definitely a female-driven company.
Yeah, Eureka, California. Their labels are fun.
Let me tell you, we've had a Lost Coast rep come into the shop to try us out some beer. They come out normally once a year from California, and she was spot on with her knowledge.
Loved her brand. They're taking care of her. They're getting her to all kinds of places.
Oh yeah.
I guess, guys, keep an eye. California's got their eye on our market. California, Oregon beers, they're starting to get them here. We've seen a few of them sneaking their way in. Of course, Sierra Nevada built their brewery over the western part of the state. But I think some of those breweries, they're testing their water here, and don't be surprised to see another West Coast brewery show
I'll
up
tell
on
you
our
right
east
now,
fork.
though, if Lost Coast showed up in North Carolina, you would not see me complain.
It's a really good fit, namesake.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I would
And
totally welcome
the
it.
8-ball stout they make is still
Phenomenal.
One
Yeah.
of, if not my favorite stouts.
Alley Cat's a strong amber. They're
They-
tangerine wheat. Great
They
white
don't make
shark.
bad beer.
This is no bad beer on that lineup.
I think out of their lineup, the Great White Shark's probably my least favorite. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm
It's
just
not
saying
bad. It's just not my style of it.
That's right.
Dragon Master, good to see you, buddy.
What's
Hey,
Looks like you're having an
Dragon Master?
adventurous night. Yeah.
So, yeah, good choice. Good choice.
This is a great way to start the evening right here.
And yes, Nick, I'm glad I got this in the shop for you, so you can sell the crap out of it and show everybody your appreciation.
Problem with selling this
It's
beer is
just-
I don't get to drink as much of it. But hey,
the
we
more,
can
the
always
more
order
you
more.
sell, the more I order.
Ooh.
All right,
that
that
was
was good.
Thoroughly
Nice.
enjoyable.
Nice. Let's see. That looks like that's quite the emoji there. I don't even know what emotion do you think like Afro guy getting punched in the face really is? Is he doing it to himself? I think that's the emoji there, punching myself in the face.
That's probably a Dragon Master
You
thing.
cannot lose yourself to emojis.
I'm so
So-
glad I didn't pick that. This is
Yeah,
great.
So tonight we've got the Dirty Bull out of Durham, North Carolina, hazy IPA.
Not surprising this is your choice, seeing as how you are familiar with the one of the guys at Dirty Bull.
I will declare one of the guys that works at Dirty Bull I've got really cool with. Ryan, if you're out there, I know you're not watching this, but in the off chance that you ever see it, I did give you a shout out.
All right. Well, we might have to tag the brewery on the.
Yeah,
Absolutely, yeah. But this is their hazy IPA right here. Seeing as we were just talking about New England IPAs and how we're tired of it, I figured we should probably have one.
Well, it's interesting Josh brings that up because I've tried this beer. I had one when we got it in first day in the shop. And I thought to myself, wow, this looks like, I'm just going to say, it looks like a New England IPA. See, we're back to that
very
haze, light
very
color, nice dime-sized head on this. Stick my nose in, I'm getting juice, but I'm also getting hops.
Oh,
And-
yeah, top yourself off of that.
and I kind of really thought about what the hop note on this is doing and what it means about this beer. And I have a feeling, man. I have a feeling why they're calling it the Dirty Bowl.
no,
The ironic t-shirt.
the ironic T-shirt. Yeah, Dirty Bull is the brewery out of Durham.
Ironic
I've been there. I've gotten it because of Josh. I've gotten a tour of the brewery. Nice little setup.
There's some good people.
They've got some good things going on there too.
So I'm just going to put it out here. I think this is a front runner for the Carolina IPA.
Okay.
Nowhere on here did they say this is a New England IPA. They describe it as a hazy IPA.
True.
And they're distinctively like giving it that Durham, that major North Carolina feel. And then they
Yeah,
put on
where does it say?
ironic t-shirt. Okay, so the irony is it looks like a New England,
Just tastes like an IPA.
but it just tastes like an IPA.
Well, I mean, this is a really good beer. It's very drinkable. It's very smooth.
So do you think they're using juice in this one? Because I'm getting a citrus tone, but this has Citra and Mosaic, and that just tastes like the lemon zest.
What's crazy to me is just how white it is.
Almost
man.
like a Hefe.
Yeah, it looks like a Hefeweizen, which is like weird to me, but it's
Breakfast
like
beer.
it's really cool, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if a 7% is breakfast beer.
I like that the citrus tone matches the color. I feel like
Yeah.
that's consistency within the beer where I see, I smell, I taste. It's all in this linear path.
This has a definitively different nose than the Revenant.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It is completely different.
You know, Josh talked about orange pith. I get lemon zest.
This one's definitely far more towards that tart.
Almost like
Zest.
lemon bar. Like,
Yeah. No, I definitely little lemon squares.
no, I don't know too much about Idaho 7. I do know Mosaic. It's kind of a dusty, sagey, some citrus tone.
This is
Citrus, your pure, like, orange peel, lemon peel.
Idaho 7. All right, so they their sources from like super specific hops.
Yeah, I don't know Idaho 7. I'd like to kind of peel through this a little more. Maybe that's where we're getting some of these really
There's
lemony.
A lot of what you
yeah,
got
but
going
there's
on.
also a very muted
Mhm.
undertone on that nose that I can't quite place. Not a citrus, but there's just some very muted, dull.
It's like a funk, but
Yeah.
but it's
a
not
clovey.
funky.
Yeah,
It's like a funky smell, but nothing in the beer tastes funky.
yeah. I didn't know how to describe this. It almost had me wondering about the yeast variety.
I'm thinking that funk might be the yeast esters or something like that, kind of where you get those weird flavors and
Mhm.
smells from like the Heffies. don't know what kind of yeast, what strain of yeast they use to ferment it. But it's really cool.
It is a super pale malt. It is like basically almost yellow in color. Here, just another color comparison. You know, this is my palate cleanser from the beginning. This is this one. This is just basically orange versus yellow here. And it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so this is a very solid beer. I would gladly get one.
It's buzzworthy too. This 7%, I feel like I'm feeling this, whereas the Revenant kind of just really snuck in there with the balance. This one lets you know it's a 7 point.
At the same time, though, it's 2 7s back to back, so you maybe feel some of
That's
those
right.
at the
Yeah,
beginning.
10 minutes.
So
let it soak
effectively,
in.
we're all having a 7%er.
Yeah.
Well, we promised not to do Imperials again, so
Yeah,
you know,
so,
we're just taking a
we're
step down off that.
Taking a week or two away from the strong beers.
Yeah, so I can't resist. So we messed Josh up so bad over the last 2 weeks on our Imperial trip. He has now pretty much gone cold turkey, except for what he's drinking tonight and drinking the Klosshaller NA all week. He's even buying a case.
Now, in my
Now,
defense,
Klosshaller NA is a
damn
good non-alcoholic beer.
Oh no, yeah, it is. It is delicious. It's great for breakfast too. But I am drinking, just not strong stuff.
So this brings us a good point.
He has to take a break.
You know,
That's
we've already complimented Josh about his access to specific knowledge while he's sober. But what I'm really curious about is when we keep ourselves, you know, just under intoxication, do we keep those taste buds? Do we have a little more response engagement with our beverage?
I will tell you, it's really good to take a break every now and then. Not just for the any reason you want to come up with, but your palate really does kind of come back.
Yeah.
The more time you spend under the influence, your taste buds go down. Your sense of smell doesn't, which is cool, but your taste buds get muted.
Yeah. This is kind of one thing I was going to get to is just taste buds kind of fit just like your tolerance. You push on them a lot, you're going to burn them out. You back off a little bit. So we'll do IPAs a little bit. We're doing an IPA heavy night. Luckily, Rob's got something that's going to stand up to all that.
Hopefully.
I think it will.
We see next week we've got the malt liquor tasting. So.
Alrighty. All right, so we're gonna finish these off.
Is that a command?
No, because I'm just gonna bring out the wine.
Oh. Le Trago.
So what we're doing tonight? Thank you.
Is there another Montepulciano?
No,
That was awesome.
This is
I really like
I'm
that.
bragging to my friends.
this is the Letargo Tempranillo Blanco. All right, so anybody who knows anything about wine right now is probably going Tempranillo Blanco.
Yeah, hold on, Rob.
There are white Tempranillos. They're just not as common.
So here's the thing with the Tempranillo Blanco. There is one region in Spain that there is a mutated strain of Tempranillo that is a white grape.
Which is totally cool.
So,
yeah, I mean, we talk about the Pinot Gris all the time, right?
So they're not like extracting the juice and immediately getting the skins off. This is actually a mutation, a natural mutation. It hasn't been, it has not been like,
So it's not blushed. It's not.
yeah, and then the mutation wasn't forced. It's a natural mutation. But it is a Tempranillo grape, 100% Tempranillo. That's white.
Tempranillo, I'm just going to go there. Is that the Spanish red that they bury in the ground for 7 years in the clay casks? Or is that's a little different wine, isn't it?
No, I thought that was kimchi.
No,
Madura. It's the Madura, isn't it?
The one where I think of clay casts buried in the ground for 7 years is, I think, mainly around the Mediterranean area,
Yeah, that's it.
Crete, Greece, and Georgia. We'll
That's
get
your
into that.
amphoras, right? Like,
Yeah, and they will bury these giant amphoras or clay casts.
wait, that's where you get the Nebuchadnezzars and the Methuselahs.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. The weird sizes of wine that people don't ever
That's
measure
right.
stuff in.
Well,
Like this liter, like this size wine.
so, But Spain, you know, I don't know what that they have a lot of that going on. They very well could be.
I may have been confusing with some other type.
But I know that like I said, Crete and
well, so
Macedonia.
This brings back my question. Just as I get into this, is this going to be an oak cask aging, or is this?
Get on that nose and you tell me. That nose should answer it right away.
Well, the complexity of the nose tells me that there is at least a short-term oak aging.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
definitely,
I get like
there's definitely.
I get
barrels
this kind of milky twist on the
Well, I
sour
mean, you
note.
can tell from the color, man. There's just that hint of that golden in there.
Mhm. And so the body holds together.
So I mean, you've got that.
Aged white wine is gonna have an increased body. There's an amount of just water release that happens in the aging process, and sugars recomplex themselves.
That's just it's a nice smell.
So I think I also did us a favor where, you notice Josh was kind of cupping to get the wine a little warm. I just iced this down about 15 minutes before we got set up, so it's got just the right amount of chill on it, I think.
So is this like a lightly chilled, not heavy chill
Yeah,
wine?
and-
Like
and-
don't drop ice in
You
this.
really-
Yeah,
you
and
really-
white wine really, you shouldn't store them in the refrigerator, but pull them out. Do yourself a favor, pull them out a half an hour before you want to drink them. Let them come up to temp a little bit.
So just as you have to pull a cork from a red,
Well, the other
you
thing-
should let a white come towards room
Well,
temperature.
the other thing with the red though, if you I always had heard that if you want to drink a red, you throw it in the fridge for 20 minutes before you want to drink it.
Give it just a slight,
just a slight, because you want to get a cellar temp.
Yeah,
And for a
cellar
white, you
temp.
want to take it out of the fridge for 20 minutes to let it get a little warmer,
Up to cellar temp.
just below cellar temp.
Yeah.
whites when they get a little bit warmer, their notes come out a lot more.
If you have a wine fridge, use it. Set your temp zones for your shelves. Do a white shelf here, down at the bottom. Do your reds up top.
I
Isolate by zone, and you can do it.
really like. I've definitely had this one here before. I believe multiple times.
Mhm.
This is really good.
There's a familiar.
It's mild.
So
It's mild, but there's this olive brine kind of like, I'm not gonna say burn, but just under a burn, there's this friendly kind
So-
of.
to me, this has a light acid crispness to it,
Okay.
but it's got some malolactic on it.
Yep. Yeah.
That's
from,
what I was catching
from
on
the
now.
from the oak aging, almost like a Chardonnay that's been in oak for a while.
Yeah.
Um,
But you don't get the rich butter tone.
That's
which is
right.
Nice.
That's right. It's just a little creaminess on it.
So is it like what neutral barrels they probably throw this in just to give it the soft feel?
Like not even toasted.
Not really looking for the
Um,
almost neutral barrels.
I'm gonna. If I had to guess, I would say that either they're gonna put this in French oak, or they're gonna use steel cask with French oak staves.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely not American oak. American oak is just like most Americans, kind of aggressive, a little bit harsh.
And it gives a lot more.
I gotta
context
say,
to it.
I'm feeling Rob on the states here. Just almost like it's not wood chip wine. It's not your Australian mulch wine. That's what I call that.
It's not like dumping a bunch of sawdust into some yellowtails.
Yeah, mulch wine. This is much more like you have characteristics of this lively white, and then you have like these notes of aged white in there. So we're getting the bright acidity, but we're also getting like these mellow, soft tones into those briny tones.
And I'm also getting a lot of floral notes too.
Absolutely, all over the
more I,
nose.
the more I,
What's
even the
describe
more I
that? I
taste
mean,
it.
is it gardenia? Is it honeysuckle? What is that?
I'm gonna go there, honeysuckle right there with you.
that's what I
Honeysuckle more so than gardenia. Gardenia is a little bit.
There's almost a sweet sour, like right on the nose.
Mhm.
It hits you sweet, but it finishes sour. But that sour doesn't come through on the palate at all. This is not a sour wine taste.
But the floral on the palate that I'm getting is reminiscent. I know Josh, you probably have. I don't know Nick, but
I would like a Chervil. Do you guys know the greenery Chervil?
Are you
with
talking?
Chevron?
Are you going to talk about edible flowers?
I was getting ready to. Yeah.
That's
So-
exactly what I'm going with.
a lot of your medium to higher end restaurants will garnish their plates with some edible flowers. The orchids.
Oh yeah.
This really reminds me of one of those.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, edible flowers are really cool. Do I think they're overrated? Absolutely, without a doubt.
Guys,
But it's always fun to eat a flower. But they do have a really cool taste, and this does. I could definitely see the orchid flavor in this. I can't remember the names of all the flowers I've eaten.
well, and you know, guys, I'm gonna just simplify it a little bit. I saw more like just your basic leafy greens in here, but not like your spicy arugula, but more like your chilled muted sherbet or
I could get a little bit of endive.
yeah, like those salad greens. And this would go good with a goat cheese light dressing salad. It would just hit. It would really hit.
A raspberry vinaigrette,
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that'd be good.
goat cheese. Right? You know who's got a good goat cheese salad?
Where?
Mr. P's. They do a fried goat cheese salad. It's a little fried goat cheese ball.
Maybe sorrel. Do you guys like sorrel?
And this would go great with that.
Sorrel.
You're not in Chicago anymore.
Yeah, I'm not following you on the sorrel. What was the other one you said?
I know it sounds like I said cherryville.
Turble.
Yeah, it's a very whatever. Just skip
That's
that
a
one.
small
Just-
town. That's a small town in the mountains of North Carolina.
It's Turble.
It's over there near Kings Mountain.
But truly, it's something kind of like marjoram, in between marjoram and arugula. But
Marjoram?
marjoram, not margarine.
Marjoram.
Yeah. I gotta say it like that so people
Is it-
understand. I'm not saying margarine.
Yeah, because that's the wannabe oregano.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's got a kind of a slight peppery, but it resides more like a sweet tone. That's what I'm talking about.
No.
Sorrel.
Not in this wine.
The thing he just mentioned. That's what I'm talking about. Not. This is much softer. Like I said, white pepper, not black pepper. It's got a little zip, but then it just goes into this floral
Did you say zit?
zip.
Okay,
A
zip.
little.
Like that fly zipping around.
I almost got it.
Yeah, that fly is driving me insane a little bit. I'm trying to act like I can't see.
I'm still getting that there's this.
I agree. There's a little pepperiness to it. I definitely agree with you. More?
It almost,
I'll take another
it
one.
almost reminds me of like green peppercorns, you know? That
Yeah.
Kind of like super fresh.
Okay,
like-
so green peppercorns. Another name for that is coriander. Did you realize in your 5-pepper blend that your green peppercorns are actually just
Oh,
coriander?
green peppercorn's not necessarily coriander. That's just the seed of it.
Well, that's right. True peppercorns. There's the actual pepper plant. All right.
Okay.
We're used to bell peppers. They grow really small. We call them
Dirty
pepper
Bull
plants.
belch factor of 4.5.
Dirty Bull's got a belch factor. You're saying?
Yeah.
That's what you get-
4.5 out of what? 6?
You keep changing the top end on me. 10, Josh, 10.
Okay, so
base 10 mathematics.
okay, so 4.5 out of 10. So I mean,
Dragon Master, can you help explain to Josh what standard deviations are?
it'd be like a 5.8 out of 11.3.
Oh my God.
This is gonna
All right.
mess up the bell curve.
Yeah.
Now let's try a little palate cleanser and see if we can go back to this wine. This, in my mind, guys, this is one of your true tests of a good wine. You're a beer drinker. You're trying wine. Can you drink your beer, go back to your wine, and still enjoy it?
And there's green acidity there too.
I've been
This
talking-
is such a wonderful like.
Have these like fake herbs and spices you've been talking about? Are they like the green acidity stuff?
Mezcal. Mezcal greens.
That's freaking tequila.
No, not mezcal.
No.
Some people call it muscle greens.
All right, I'm back to my palate cleanser.
Oh my god.
See, a lot of people, you know, these guys worked in a kitchen.
Yeah,
this guy worked on a farm.
I'm actually trying to mess with Nick here. I mean, I
we're
do
just
know what
having
he's talking
fun at
about,
this point.
but yeah,
I literally
I can
used to
tell
work
you-
for an herbalist, organic farmer lady.
I can tell you, I would have so much fun with this wine and pairing it with foods.
Yeah.
it tastes so mild on the palate, it has like a complexity.
Well, the
there.
easy go, of course, is chicken. Any chicken dish is gonna fly.
This to me is
I'm
just
not gonna
more.
push this on shrimp. I'm not.
I'm gonna push this on swordfish.
Yeah,
Swordfish would be good.
Bigger fish, white fish, wahoo.
Yeah.
Wahoo.
But
this
the
is wahoo.
main thing about swordfish though is you have to marinate really swordfish before you use it. Just kind of get some of that ammonia out. So you're gonna have that. You're probably gonna
But
have a little bit of lemon with the
something
swordfish anyway. So
properly
really
done, Josh is right. If you don't do swordfish right, you're gonna be left a little ammonia bitter. If you do swordfish right, you're gonna taste sweet.
If you don't do swordfish right, you're not gonna like it.
It's gonna taste like shark.
Which again, if you don't do shark right, you're not gonna like
I've
it.
had good shark.
Yeah.
I've had great shark. You know
Go
what's
on,
not
Rob.
good?
Brag about the
You
time
know
you
what's
had
not
shark fin.
good? Shark fin.
You know when I've had shark is when the cheap restaurants punched out scallops out of the shark fins.
Yeah, well, shark fins are awful.
But I have had some good shark
Are these
steaks.
bay scallops?
Well, no, I used to get dim sum up in Charlotte, man. They had like the shark fin dumplings.
These are mud.
Well, they didn't
Shark.
clean the shark fin the
Like-
right way. And you know what shark fin tastes like? Ammonia, straight ammonia.
So, nothing here tastes like shark fin. I want to
No,
clarify
no,
that
no.
right now.
No, nothing tastes like
ammonia in
shark
these
fin.
wines.
No.
So I don't know that I would do this with tuna, but I would definitely do it with a stronger whitefish.
What about
Wahoo. I'm all about wahoo.
I'm right there
this.
with you on that. I'm right there with you.
What about
Wahoo
trigger?
means sweet,
Trigger.
gamey
yeah.
fish, gamey white
It's hard
fish.
to find trigger nowadays.
Yeah.
Trigger's a little soft for this. You might get away with your halibut.
What's the golden
Golden tile.
golden tile?
Tilefish would be good.
Yeah, that's a definite more of a solid whitefish.
And I can almost see this next to my, a little North Carolina shout out here next to my black drum. Pan fried.
Maybe some grouper.
Codfish.
But anyway,
It's on the
getting
chart.
hungry
True.
again. Getting hungry again. So what we're looking at is we're looking at a white chicken, white fish, a lighter dish. We're not looking at your beef or your pork or something like
Yeah,
that.
But your brines-
this one definitely makes you want food with it.
Your brines, your marinades, your vinaigrettes. That's where your success with
I'll
this
give you
wine is
vinaigrette.
gonna
Like I
be.
said earlier, the goat cheese salad with raspberry vinaigrette. I think this would be great on it because you're gonna have, especially if you have your greens are gonna have the arugula in it and stuff like that to get that.
Yeah, arugula, endive,
And
churl, sorrel, all these. Even some parsley in there,
I think it would go nice with a
parsley. Now you're really making stuff up.
I'll put the flat parsley, not the curly leaf.
Oh, nobody eats Italian parsley. It's all about Greek parsley.
I think it'd go good with a basil sorbet.
Okay, Josh is into a whole nother territory.
Yeah.
Basil
Yeah.
sorbet is like a green tea ice cream type thing. It's cool. It's out there. I think
Can I
with
just
the
add a
right.
star onto the restaurant we're going to?
I think you just show people why this doesn't have to be before dinner. How you can have a white wine after dinner, and that's one of the reasons for white Tempranillo.
Well,
Or Tempranillo Blanco.
I'm a huge port fan, so this wine you're gonna have to really convince me to get me to drink something else other than
Yeah, after dinner, I want a port or a Madeira or something like
Yeah,
that.
I
I'd be
think
the one to
Madeira
order the
would-
Madeira.
By the way,
after dinner.
Madeira might be the wine I was confusing earlier when I was talking about your.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
if you want Madeira, you got to put it in an oak cask and put it in the attic in hot temperature and let the wine intentionally spoil.
And technically, it only
It doesn't
comes from
spoil; it
one
just
island.
oxidizes, and it becomes this ridiculously good nectar of the gods.
But they also do
Madeira
it
wine
in
is amazing.
amazing. It probably goes good with gazpacho. Can we get hot wine and cold soup? Welcome to Spain.
I could do gazpacho would not be bad. for this.
That's actually, I'm glad I brought that up. Even a watermelon gazpacho.
No one does a gazpacho around here. It's a shame.
we did a couple out at the Shoals Club, but
No one drinks cold soup.
it wasn't
It's
a matter.
tough
It
to
wasn't a
get
matter of
people-
making it. It was a matter of people not
It's
buying it.
tough to get people to pay for cold soup. Listen, gazpacho got popular during the anarchist sindicato movement of
It's
Cadiz.
like you can't get it.
And so there was no provider for
Yes,
lunch, and there was no unions, and there was no money. However, each landowner who had the farm crew at their property that day was responsible for making a batch of gazpacho, for community lunch, which was commonly eaten with bread and wine.
Yeah, because you thicken the watermelon
Madeira
tomato soup
had
with
that.
chunks of bread.
Yeah.
All right. So on that note, I think Nick has taken us to our end of time.
Yeah, as
Um,
usual.
We had a good time tonight. We had some nice beers. Let's go through the
Palate
rundown.
cleanser, Escape to Colorado. I'm gonna give that a thumbs up. Palate cleanser. My
I think
Revenant
well, if we're going to
IPA.
if we're going to do palate cleanser,
All right.
So Josh and I had the Sexy Canoe. I'm good with it. I think it's a good
For
solid.
what
Yeah.
it is and how well it's made, I'm gonna give it a thumb and a half up.
I'm
If
going
you
with
want to
that.
know if they're still making lagers worth drinking, come try it out.
All right, now we're on to the Revenant.
All right, so tonight's tasting the Revenant IPA, Lost Coast, Eureka, California. Guys, this is really good. If you like IPAs and you haven't had this, I'm not sure you actually like IPAs yet. Just think about it.
I'm going to give this 1.5.
Oh!
I'm gonna give
I'm
it a
two
thumb and a
thumbs
half.
up.
You're going to find that the 1.5 is probably generous for me tonight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it 2 just because I really like the Revenant. I'm familiar with it. I've drank my fair share of it. It's really good this year round.
Moving on to the Dirty Bull.
The Dirty Bull, the
t-shirt
ironic T-shirt, hazy IPA.
out of Durham.
Absolutely.
I liked
Yeah.
it. I didn't think it was my favorite of the night, but I liked it, so solid thumbs up.
It's definitely a great beer. It gets a thumbs up from me, Ryan.
I'm gonna give it like one solid thumbs up, and this other one wants to go all the way up, but it's just not quite there yet. I feel like, you know, maybe another batch on this, and they'll just completely nail that recipe.
It's a 1.8 out of 2.3. Yeah.
Yeah. It's Fibonacci, if you're wondering.
So then, last but not least, we have the Letargo. This is the Tempranillo Blanco, 100% Tempranillo Blanco from Rioja. Again, a mutation, 12.5% ABV, and we didn't say, but it's a $14.99 bottle of wine. I'm going to give this one a thumb and a half again.
I'm gonna give it a thumb and a half. Going up to a thumb 0.75 just because X-Man wine.
X-Men wine.
It makes me want to pair it with food.
Guys,
I
I'm not
feel
gonna
like-
get particular. I'm just gonna say thumbs up. All
I
right.
mean, it was decent wine. It wasn't hugely great. I think it's worth
I have a
$50.
feeling this wine would get 2 thumbs up from me with the right food.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, if you pair this wine just right, I think it would.
Hang out with your
be a
chef's
wine.
friends on an afternoon, maybe before you light the grill and you're just getting things going with fresh ingredients. This is when it pops.
Wait, why is everyone looking at me?
Hanging out with your chef friends. with
Oh,
the good wine.
okay. Oh, all right. Yeah. I see
All right.
the story.
So, thank you. That's episode 15 of What Are You Drinking Now here at the office. We're wrapping it up, and we'll see you next week.
Please like, comment, subscribe
Yeah,
down below.
Hello.
It looks. If you didn't hear everything I had to say tonight, because I mumbled and talked fast and I sound Chicago-y, get on YouTube, rewatch, like, comment,
Get on YouTube
engage.
and say what, you know.
And remind
Tell me
him
how
that
ugly.
he's not
Well-
in Barrington anymore.
We'll get the
Bye.
started.